Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Ghosted, and we're going to be going over the new pre-season video that Riot has uploaded. They're going to be going over some item changes, runes, new things for all the champions, mythics, and whatnot. So we're going to go ahead and talk about it. We skipped over most of the earlier parts when they're talking about champion balance and how they like the way some champions are and whatnot. But we're going to go ahead and just look at the big stuff for the pre-season. Let's get into that.
With our plans for items. While some champions and classes have lots of build options, we've still got others that don't feel like they've got a mythic or legendary that really speaks to them. So we're going to be adding some new items and tweaking some others. This will include two new mythic items. The first one is a support tank item, perfect for champions that want to get aggressive and charge into the middle of a fight. When you immobilize an enemy champion, all nearby enemies will take increased damage from your team.
Increased damage? I feel like with that they have to be careful, because doing something that allows your whole team to do more damage to the enemy team is going to be really strong, and it's just going to be shoving more damage down their throat. Along with, like, if the enemy champion, the other support also built that would also be pretty, like, they'd both be doing a lot of damage and people would be dying left and right. But maybe that's what they want with the engaged support. It busts the entire team, gives them more damage. Again, I think that's it's going to be a little bit too strong, but hopefully,
mythic item is built for mages.
Because we already have the one item that amps damage, the Horizon Focus, I think it's called, where if you do long range damage, it does 10% increased damage. I think it's already a pretty strong item. I mean, not a lot of people build it. Only mages can really use it, but having that on the entire team will be kind of crazy.
Looking for a little more survivability. It grants damage reduction that lingers for a few seconds after you get hit.
So mages get a shield bow with an exhaust on it.
We think it'll be particularly good for longer range mages who need a mythic that helps them survive a dive rather than pile on extra damage.
Yeah, so they're giving mages an item with, like, exhaust, the shield bow, and all that in one, which is going to be, I hope it's not going to be too busted, because what it sounds like is going to be really hard for other champions to kill him. But I mean, I guess that's the good part. They probably shouldn't have added the exhaust part on it, but just the shield, I feel like would have been fine,
We wanted to give every champion strategic choices in every game. We still think that's the right goal for mythics, but our thinking has changed when it comes to legendary items. We think it's okay if some champions build the same legendary in most games if it's a perfect fit. But we also want you to have plenty of options, which is why we're improving legendaries for mages, assassins, and tanks. For example, assassins can look forward to a new legendary item that gives ability haste, and also refunds a portion of their ultimate's cooldown with enemy.
Wait a second, what did he say? He said
portion of their ultimate's that gives ability haste.
Ability haste,
and
of course.
Also refunds a portion of their ultimate's cooldown with enemy takedowns.
See, this is the thing with that. Assassins already have really low cooldowns on their ultimate. Fizz's ult is really low because you only use CDR on him. Zed's ult's really low because you get a lot of CDR from his items, even if you're not trying to build CDR. So I don't know if that's really necessarily needed, in my opinion. If anything, that would just make them more broken with their ult coming up, like, a lot more often. But this is probably just to help assassins once the mage item or the mage players get their shield bowish item. Maybe that's just the goal, like, to help them out a little bit. But even then, that's pretty strong, in my opinion. But let's keep watching and see what else they're gonna add.
Tanks that can never get enough mana will be happy with a new legendary item that grants bonus health based on total mana, and also burn some of it to create a shield whenever they immobilize an enemy.
Okay, so that item that they're talking about has kind of been shown already. I was gonna make a video talking about this item being in the game like a while ago, but this is the new item that was added to Wild Rift. It's called Winter's Approach, and it transforms into Fimble Winter once you get enough mana stacks. So obviously this is a tier item. You build it, after you stack it up all the way, it turns into Fimble Winter. And the unique on it is immobilizing an enemy champion, consumes mana, and grants a shield for 3 seconds, absorbing 150 plus 5% current mana, and it damages for every nearby enemy champion. And this item, it sounds really good. That's the exact same item that they're talking about in this game right here, where they show Singe running it down, or not running it down, but running at the Corki, and he gets a little shield here as well. And all that. See, that's the shield he gets. So that's pretty much this item. So it's already confirmed this item will be in the game 100%. Winter's Approach and Fimble Winter. So look forward to these items. I think this is a good item for mages, and not mages, tanks that are gonna need mana. So not a bad item. I'm fine with this one in the game. Let's go ahead and keep looking at it though.
Whenever they immobilize an enemy. Finally, mages who are tired of being denied their hard-earned kills can rejoice. They'll be receiving a new legendary that grants magic pen against recently shielded enemies.
It's funny, it takes us a season to get this item for us AP champion. That's crazy. So no more Tyler One's famous Serpent's Fizz or Serpent's Cho'Gath, because they just get so much shielding. It's gonna be like, I'm glad that these AP champions finally get a shield break again, because it was long needed. Like, what am I supposed to do as a Fizz if they got a Karma and a Lulu? I can't kill anyone.
As for runes, we think there are some good targeted changes we need to make. Most of all, we feel the Inspiration Tree's identity has been pretty unclear.
I agree
We'd
with
like
that.
to broaden its keystone use
I agree
cases.
with that.
For example,
The Inspiration
we're
Tree
reworking
is
Glacial
kind
Augment
of
to double
in
down on its
a
fantasy
weird
of
spot, I
slowing
feel
down
like.
enemies. We are also making some modifications to
So they're pretty much going to be adding something
unclear.
to like
We'd
Hextech
like to broaden
GLP
its keystone use
a little bit into
cases.
the game.
For example, we're reworking Glacial Augment to double down on
I'm assuming it's going to be whatever, if you stun them and you have the rune, obviously, that slows them and whatnot, it'll give them the Hextech GLP line of ice right there. So I think that'll be a good change.
its fantasy of slowing down enemies. We are also making some modifications to Lethal Tempo to lean into its attack speed fantasy, give it a more distinct use case in the Precision
Okay.
Tree.
In the Precision Tree, okay. Because I mean, again, I don't see a lot of people take Lethal Tempo. It's a very I think of a niche item, like, you know, I'm not a niche item, niche rune. Like, only specific champions take it, and it's only good in certain scenarios. So hopefully they're gonna make it a little bit better. So it, like, because the other counterpart of it, Halo Blades, is way better in my opinion, because it comes up instantly. It doesn't take a long time to get up, actually.
Up next are bounties. Champion bounties give teams who are behind a way to get back into the game without being a straight shot to victory.
Okay.
And this year, we're adding a second way for teams to try and make
I think the champion bounties this season were kind of okay, a little bit too strong in my opinion, because if you get ahead, you're honestly gonna have to play a lot smarter and watch what you're gonna do, because you can't just run around, do whatever like you normally do, or else you'll give them a 1,000 goal shutdown, which will lead to them and their carries being able to carry the game. So let's see what they're gonna do with this.
Objective bounties will work like champion bounties, except you cash them in by taking map objectives, like towers or Baron. They ramp up slowly when the enemy team lead grows, and the bounty is shared with your whole team, regardless of who claimed it.
Oh, really? The
Taking
whole team gets
objectives
the bounty.
really is
Okay.
the best way to come back when you're behind, so we want to help make that a clearer and more rewarding strategy.
I like that.
That
Taking
said,
down the
if your team
towers,
is
giving
really
more.
far
Okay, I like
ahead,
that.
Objective bounties won't change that. Being the
That's
better
what I'm
team
afraid of.
should
I don't want it to be like, if I get a lead and just because the enemy team gets some dragons and towers, they're automatically on the same like lead. Like, they pretty much caught up to us just because they got some objectives. So hopefully they find a way to make it strong, but not too strong to where it overpowers the already current bounty system.
always get you a win. So we'll be watching the new bounty system closely to keep things in check. Finally, let's talk about our biggest addition this preseason, dragons. We really like how each dragon creates unique terrain, grants powerful buffs, and adds more strategy to the mid and late game. So this preseason, we're adding two more.
Two
Up
more
first
dragons.
is the Hextech dragon. When your team defeats it, you'll all gain additional ability haste. And if you claim the soul, you'll receive a chain slow that works kind of like Static Shiv's passive. When this dragon takes over the rift,
Wait a
the
second.
chain
Let's go back and look at that.
haste. When your team defeats it, you'll all gain additional ability haste and attack speed.
This is gonna be a
If
really
you claim
strong
the
dragon.
soul, you'll receive a chain slow that works kind of like Static Shiv's passive. When this dragon takes over the rift, it creates Hextech gates that can transport you to set locations across the map. The second dragon
That's gonna be very, very strong. Transport you to set location. So, actually, I don't know if I like that. In my opinion, I think it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be as strong as this dragon. This dragon's gonna be a little bit crazy. It's gonna set up a lot of team fights and whatnot. But yeah, this is gonna be like, if you're on the losing end, if you get this the soul, you're gonna pretty much be able to come back, I feel like.
joining the party is Hextech's darker sibling, the Chemtech Drake. When you slay it, your team will deal increased damage when your HP is low, letting you turn around those close team fights. This dragon
It's that
when your
dude.
HP is Chemtech Drake. When you slay it, your team will deal increased damage when your HP is low, letting you turn
Wow, so you get more damage when you're low health if you get this dragon. So it'll be like a percentage, I guess, increase depending on how low your health is, which is gonna be pretty crazy in my opinion. This dragon is gonna be the I don't want to call it the most broken, but it's for sure gonna be really strong, and it's gonna be a very sought after drag.
Turn around those close team fights. This Dragon Soul provides a second chance at life. Well, sort of. When you die, you'll enter a zombie state, where you can still cast abilities and continue fighting.
See, I don't know about that. That part is what it's like really like giving me like, yo, this is gonna be a crazy broken dragon. The fact that you get to come back, no matter how weak you are, the fact that you get to die and come back up for a few seconds like a scion, pretty much is absurd. Like, it's even if you're even like, I feel like if they do this, they can't use their alts or anything. They have to make it some way so it's not like, yo, I kill him, it was really close, and he just kills me just because he has the drag soul. Because that's gonna be, wow, crazy, crazy broken in my opinion.
When you'd normally be looking at a gray screen. And when the Chemtech Dragon putrefies the map, it creates camouflage zones in fixed locations. These dragons might...
See, when I hear camouflage zones, I'm thinking like, you step into here, you can't really see who's in here specifically, like, or if you come in here and you walk out, you'll be camouflaged for a quick moment, which is going to be really strong for assassins. I don't know if I like this either. Honestly, I'm not a fan of the two dragons that they just added. I feel like they're kind of overpowered and gonna overshine some of the current drakes that we have. Like Cloud Drake, I don't know what Cloud Drake's gonna do to compete with Hextech or what they're gonna add, because Cloud Drake just gives ultimate ability haste and gives you movement speed once you cast your ult. And compare that to Hextech, the Hextech dragon, where it gives you attack speed and ability haste. And once you get the drag soul, I'm pretty sure your team, what did he say? Let's go back and look at it actually. I forgot. He said that your team, if you get the soul.
But chain slow, that works kind of like Static Shiv's passive.
Okay, you get
when this dragon
chain
takes
slow.
over the rift.
Well, actually, that soul isn't that bad, honestly. You get a chain slow. It's not that bad, but still, I can see that being annoying if certain champions can catch up to you. But let's go ahead and keep going.
These dragons might seem more impactful than the current ones.
Yes, very impactful.
Well, they are. Our goal is to add more unique encounters and meaningful strategy to the mid and late game. That said, these are some pretty big changes, and we're ready to adjust if they're making too much, too little of an impact. You can expect to see all of these changes on PvE in a couple of weeks, and we'll be looking for your feedback in the months ahead.
That is crazy. Is there anything else? I don't want to go over the challenges because that's more of a... I mean, if you're interested in challenges, that's cool. The game modes are going to be adding, what's it called? Summoner, the spellbook one. They're going to be adding that one back soon. Yep. And they said they're not going to be adding Ascension, Rest in Peace. That game mode was a lot of fun. And all the other ones they had because they feel like it's not going to work in the current climate of the game. I'm pretty sure that's what they said. But yeah, overall, let me know what you guys think about these new season stuff they're adding. The new dragons, everything. I'm telling you, this dragon's going to be crazy broken. They're going to have to, if anything, make these two dragons really rare. Make these dragons really rare that's to pop up in the game. So if it's there, it's like, oh shit, we actually need this bad. But yeah, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below about all this, all these items and stuff. And I will see you guys next time.